EMP.
Welcome back! On today's interview, I got the privilege to speak to Andreas from Sepultura that celebrated their 30-year anniversary, and they were in Leyendas del Rock, one of the biggest summer festivals here in Spain. So, check it out, don't miss it up. Don't miss the end because it's pretty cool. Today, first day of Leyendas del Rock, a huge festival here in Spain, and I have the huge pleasure to be with the one and only Andreas from Sepultura. Andreas, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, welcome to Spain, and let me congratulate you for 30 years of Sepultura. How does it feel?
Yeah, it's great. 30 years is a great mark, for anything, and especially for a band that came from Brazil. And it's a great momentum from Sepultura. We are still touring for our last album that came out at the end of 2013. Mm-hmm. The mediator between head and hands must be the heart.
Long title.
Yeah,
Too long.
It's pretty short. You get used to it. So, and we've been everywhere, the biggest festivals in the world. We did Rock in Rio in Las Vegas, first time that Rock in Rio was in the States. Many festivals around Europe, and it feels great. The lineup is pretty strong. We have a great record label behind, and it's great to celebrate 30 years. It's such a great momentum. A lot of stuff going on, documentary, DVDs and shows everywhere. 73 countries.
73 countries.
Yeah, in 30 years, and counting.
Do you remember all of them? No.
I don't know. I mean, not all the cities, but I remember all the countries we've been for sure. And many places we've been only once. So and there's a few other places. Well, a lot of other places that we like to go. But generally feels great. The set list, we play the whole history of the band. Including new stuff, of course. And celebration of this amazing history. A band from Brazil that's still here.
And made it.
Yeah, it's great.
That's a very interesting thing. As you know, Brazil is a beautiful, huge country, but it's very good at exporting football players, supermodels, but not music and not metal. And what was the key for Sepultura to cross the borders?
Well, actually, I mean, Brazil regarding music was very strong with Carmen Miranda first, and which created a whole stereotype of the Brazilian, with the bananas and stuff, and of course Bossa Nova, I mean, it's huge, in the 60s, with Mutantes as well, being influenced by the Beatles. So Brazil had a great history in music impacting the world, But we were influenced by music from outside Brazil first, European bands and American bands. Yeah. And we hated all the stuff that we listened in Brazil, because we grew up very radical, only listening to metal. And as soon as we start, really playing in different places, first in Brazil and then South America, then we came to Europe, and we start knowing the world. We saw Brazil as a very special and unique place. Yeah. So we start using the percussion, the melodies from Brazil, talking about Brazilian things, not only the beautiful part of it, but, especially the corruption, violence on the streets, in a city like São Paulo, for instance, and stuff. So, I mean, we use Brazil in a very natural way. Yeah. First we denied that part, and then we embraced that part very much. And still nowadays a big part of our sound. The Brazilian groove, the percussive part. Derek, which is 18 years with Sepultura now, Derek Green, the new singer.
The new singer, I know.
And 18 years with us, he's exploring a lot more the percussion on stage, and I think that's why I think we found our own sound. Of course we were influenced, like I said, bands like Slayer, Metallica.
And today you are influencing a lot of new bands and even old bands as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think Roots was a very special album that really influenced a lot of people, including bands like Deftones and Slipknot. Dave Grohl just commenting recently again about the album. He always really embrace as one of the great musical works, definitely from Brazil, so and it's great to have that kind of mark, I think every artist, really look for that, to have a kind of like original sound or original signature, that you're gonna put them apart,
identity.
Yeah, because and we have the privilege to travel the world, and we express our feelings very honestly on our music. We don't try to, I don't know, to wear any masks or to try to cheat anyone, to fake.
Talking about that, like the last single was Under My Skin, which I think is beautiful. It's you clearly, when you hear the song, you clearly realize that it's made for the fans, and you also make them part of the song by all this thing with the tattoos. Like all the fans were sending photos of their Sepultura tattoos, and who was that idea? There you go.
That was the first Tribal S did made. I did like in 1991, right after we decided to use the symbol. But yes, I have the idea because we are coming to Europe for the second time. When we were playing Rock in Rio with Steve Vai in Las Vegas, and I wanted to try to release the single, which came out only on vinyl and digital. On Rock in Rio, but we didn't have time enough, so it came out only, I don't know, a few weeks ago. And it's a tribute to our fans, really. They, in the late, well, I don't know, 10 to 15 years, I'm seeing a lot of people with tattoos, Sepultura tattoos, more than ever. I mean, nowadays tattoo is not really something from sailors or criminals.
It's
and
like
stuff,
you're creating your own army or something.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very strong symbol, and they tattoo our autographs and our faces and stuff, It's a great form of respect they have for the band, So we finally, celebrating the 30-year mark as well, we gave the song to our fans, Sepultura Under My Skin, because it's really something very, very powerful.
It is.
Without them, we wouldn't be here.
True. And talking about that, because I heard you in different interviews in the past, and you always talk to your fans, like the lovers, but you also talk to your haters. And that's a bit strange because most of musicians...
Because they talk too much a lot.
I know, but most of musicians, they just, send a message only to their fans. Why you include the haters?
They are our fans, The haters are our fans. I mean, we are...
In a very twisted way, come on.
Yeah, because they love a part of the career, which me and Paulo were involved. And it's like 30 years, It's like, I don't know, 5 different formations, from Jairo to myself, and then Derek, and then, Jean Dolabella, Eloy Casagrande, And of course, regardless of the formation, Sepultura always have a different album from each other,
Yeah.
If you put Schizophrenia, which is my first album with Sepultura back in 1987, to Roots, which is the last album that Max did in 1996, it sounds like a different band, We evolve a lot, from Beneath the Remains to Arise, Chaos AD, and Roots, they're very different,
You really reckon that it sounds different? Because to me, it still have the essence of Sepultura.
It's Sepultura, yeah, but they're very different albums from each other, very different. I mean, Chaos AD and Roots almost like sound a different band,
Right.
with many different, experimental stuff and everything. And we kept that spirit, till nowadays. That's why we're still here, I guess. So, it's something that we respect a lot, everybody that comes to the band, We don't try to create clones or trying to follow formulas,
Yeah.
If I am the band, I'm going to put everything there, which I did since day one. And, when Derek came in, a totally different singer, visually and background, have a different way of playing guitar and stuff. We use those elements, We didn't force him to be like Max or anyone else, Same with the drummers and everything, So I think, like I said, it's very honest, That's why we're still evolving.
Has sense. Everybody has his own input, and it has a lot to do with the, how much you mature after 30 years. Come on, it's so much.
Yeah, and we're doing something now, We cannot really copy ourselves, What's done is done. We look back, and we see a beautiful history behind. It's something amazing, very unique in the world to see a Brazilian band doing what we're doing, We went, you know, like I said, so many different countries and cultures. We met so many different people. And we're working on the documentary, you know, to talk about that, you know, why we're still here after 30 years, you know, after so many changes inside the band and outside, you know, like technological, from vinyl to CD to download, and, you know, MD and video lasers, so many different, you know, things that happen and still happening, you know. And we're still here, you know, jamming and enjoying what we do, which is important, you know. We're not here like robots, you know. We are really, as people, really enjoying day by day being on stage and everything. So, so you know, in documentary we like to show that, and it's great, you know. Like I said, celebrate 30 years like this.
Yeah, congratulations again.
Thank you.
But now I want to talk about your parallel project, De la Tierra.
De la Tierra.
De la Tierra. How you feel about it? I hear it and I love it. It's really good. For everybody that is at home at the moment watching, De la Tierra is a band from South America formed by, I would say, the most talented musicians, because it's Mr. Flavio, which is awesome. He was in Fabulosos Cadillacs.
Sí.
And Alex is the drummer from Maná.
Alex Gonzalez, drummer from Maná.
Exactly.
Andres Jimenez,
Singer and
singer
Animal.
from Animal. They just came back.
And you!
And me.
How did you get involved with that?
Yeah, it's one Mexicano, dos Argentinos y un Brasileño. It's I was invited.
Mixture.
I was invited to be a part, you know, by Alex. It was something that started with Alex Gonzalez and Andres Jimenez. They know each other for many years. Alex, you know, besides playing Maná, which is nothing to do with heavy metal.
Nothing to do.
It's very different type of music and different approach. But you see, Alex was always, you know, performing like a rock and roll drummer, you know?
He was like holding back, sort of way, you know?
And he felt like he wanted to explore a little more the heavy part and stuff. And then he finally talked to Andres and decided really to do something together. And then Andres brought Senor Flavio, and Alex called me to be a part of this group. I was, you know, so happy, you know, to have this kind of opportunity to play with great musicians, you know, such legends in their own field, you know, in music, and to sing in Spanish and Portuguese. You know, it's great. It's very challengeable for us, you know, to do something like that. And we like to break that barrier, not to play only in the Latin, you know, world, but really to go to different places, like Japan, Australia, Germany, whatever, you know, really bring that kind of, regardless of the language, you know, we're singing. Like Rammstein, for instance, you know, they're a worldwide success singing in German.
Yeah.
So,
and everybody sing it along, even that we don't know the words, we do.
Well, in Brazil we did the same, you know, like singing.
It's true.
We know only 666, the rest is just like...
It was a big challenge to export Sepultura back in the day, like singing in Portuguese?
You know, during the 80s, when Sepultura started, was kind of a taboo to sing heavy metal in Portuguese, you know. Everybody hated it. It was something that it didn't fit, you know, was bad for the ears or something, or the words weren't really heavy, you know, that kind of stuff. We're so used to the English. And we see Scorpions and Accept, you know, from Germany singing in English, and Voivod, you know, from Canada, from the French part, singing in English, and a few other bands, you know, from the Loudness, you know, from Japan as well. So, you know, we got influenced by that as well, you know, to sing in English. So we saw would be the only way to play outside Brazil and to really do international tours and stuff like that, you know. So, but nowadays, you know, I have a radio show in São Paulo.
That was my next question, but yeah, I'll let you go. Come on, go.
So,
with your son, one of your sons.
Exactly, Johan. He's about 18 years old, and we talk about, you know, from Beatles to Slipknot, Napalm Death, you know, and punk and hardcore and everything that's connected to the heavy metal world. And I receive a lot of Brazilian bands, you know, because it's really hard for them to have a space, you know, to show their music, and like metal in general, you know, it's very hard still. But many bands singing in Portuguese, you know, it's not like 20 or 30 years ago, you know. People are really more confident, and the words fit better, I don't know, you know, it's like we just change our perception of the language and the possibilities of being heavy and aggressive, you know. So it's great to see that this is developing a lot more than used to be.
You're very busy, like Sepultura, De La Tierra, radio show, big fan of football.
Yes.
Where do you find time to do everything?
Well, I find time in time. Where else?
It's a good planning, we'll say.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, it's really demanding, but I'm very thankful for all the opportunities I have. You know, it's just a privilege to work with so many great people, and explore different territories. You know, not only playing the same. You know, because we play a lot, we tour a lot in Sepultura, and I like to play with different people, different musicians, and different styles of music, and it's great. You know, I try to organize everything. I have a great, I had great people around me that help me to achieve, everything and stuff. So it feels great. You know, I only have to thank everything, and I like to believe I'm still very young, and very healthy, to do everything I need to do.
You are, believe me.
So you have to really to enjoy, just the momentum. That's the best.
Well, I want to thank you too, and I know you love football.
Yes.
So you know what we're gonna do? This was just like a game. So what about if we exchange T-shirts?
All right.
Good boy. Okay, hold this.
Why not?
You don't seem to be really happy. I don't know if people at home is happy. So
I don't know if the shirt will fit.
it is. It's for you, so it has to fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Momento.
Oh, I can see your eyes now. What a beautiful bright eyes. Okay.
Well, really smelly. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Great game. Thank you very much. Andreas from Sepultura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, here's Andreas Kisser from Sepultura and De La Tierra, and you are on EMP Live TV. Enjoy.
Hey there, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments down below on the comment box. And also you can click on the link of EMP so you can see everything, the latest on fashion, merchandising of your favorite bands, contests and more. So subscribe with EMP Live TV.
EMP Live TV.